you're contracted, you're contractually obliged to play for them. Like it's a whole different kind of meaning, it's a whole different kind of feeling. Because you're playing not just for yourself, but for your journey. So again, like you said, for me, for the people that grew up with me, that people that supported me, my friends, my family, the community I grew up in, all the people that have been part of my journey along the way, they're part of me putting on that jersey. They've, in some way, somehow they've been, you know, um, a part of my story, a part of my journey. So when I put that jersey on, it's not just we all on my back, but it's, I got a little spark from everyone that's been part of it, and everyone that's, I guess come along and been part of my progression, my journey, and everything to that point. So to be part of the national team is always a proud moment for me. And then to be part of things like the pro-am is special again, because again, what Sam has done for UK hoops in general, bro, is just
Sam,
like, he has done so much. He's worked so hard to push the game forward, and to have an event in the summer where guys can come and hoop against each other, and have good competition and compete. And it's a fun experience as well. Like I get to play against guys that I grew up playing with, and grew up playing against, and it's a great event. And shout out to those in Manchester as well. I'm seeing there's a Manchester Pro now as well. So that's like, it's great that we're getting that going in different places as well. So shout out to those two events, because it's great to see the people playing, and again, enjoying, and again, we're just promoting the game. We're doing so much to help promote the game and push it forward. To shout out to again those that are doing that. And yeah, I always like to play in a pro at least a couple weeks when I can, when I'm around, because yeah, a real cool event to be a part of, and just it's a good time. That's some good summer hoops. So.
Absolutely. And just a final part now with the Beyond the Game segment. This first one, I'm super intrigued to get your thoughts on now, Carl. This could go the route of basketball
Okay.
or the route of life.
Okay.
What would you say, Carl, is a skill that is taught by many, but only mastered by a few?
Ooh. That's a good question. That's a great question. That's good. Taught by many. You say taught by many and mastered by a few?
Yes.
Ooh wee. Do you know I'm gonna go with this? I'm gonna go with two slightly different things.
Okay.
So one is they play off each other. So one is discipline, and one is self-reflection. So like, just as an athlete, obviously you have to be super disciplined with how you approach, so many different things. So timekeeping, your work ethic, and not even just the work ethic, but how you work. So like I was saying before, how intentional you are of what you're doing, and things like that. You're disciplined to show up, not just physically and on time, but show up and actually, be ready to compete and be ready to play, and things like that. That is discipline, because it's not easy some days. Like, we all have good and bad days, just as people. Like, without even being an athlete, you have good and bad days. You have days you wake up and like, I'm not really feeling it today, but how can you find a way to overcome that, and work to get better, and yeah, still show up. And then the self-reflection for me that's more just personally, just looking back on mistakes I've made, on things I've done well, and knowing that we're not perfect people, and that being able to reflect on that, it's okay to make mistakes. Like, it's actually okay. Like, sometimes we're so afraid of messing shit up and doing things, bro. Like this, but it's natural, bro. It's natural for so many of us. Like, there's gonna be times for all of us where we're in a situation where we don't handle it the right way, or we look back and we can say, that wasn't really how things should have went, or I didn't handle that well. And I've done that in life, in relationships, in basketball, and whatever it is. And like, can you look back and be like, and not even necessarily want to change the past, but can you acknowledge what you've done and know how to move on? Because sometimes there's things you can't change. Like, sometimes there's things you literally just can't change, whether it's an event or a situation, or some things that you can't that happen, that you have to live with what happened. Like, sometimes you can make amends, for sure. Like, sometimes there's things you can fix, but it's, can I acknowledge what's been done? Can I acknowledge how that made someone feel, or how that affected myself, or what I've done that affected the situation? Can I acknowledge that? Can I work on myself to allow that to not happen again if it's something negative? Or can I, build on that if it was something positive? Because I think when people talk self-reflection or reflection in general, they kind of you're more inclined to look at the negative, because you're like, oh, I wish I'd done that differently. I wish I changed that. I wish I didn't do that. And that's obviously important for growth, but it's also important to look back at the positives and be like, oh, that was really good.
Yeah.
Like, that was a great moment for me.
Yes.
Like, I want to repeat that kind of feeling. I want to have, that kind of emotion. When I look back, and I remember like a month ago when it was like the day we'd won the chip 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And one of my teammates put in our old group chat, guys, it was 2 years ago today that we won the chat, so it's fun. And it made me feel like, right, I want to have that feeling again. I want to have the feeling of being on a team like that, and winning a championship and things like that again. I want to have, life-wise, I want to have the joy of having a first child, and things like this. And like,
Cool.
when I look back in 20, 30 years time, when I've long done playing, and my life's going to be completely different to what it is now, can I look back and obviously reflect on some of the things I wish I'd done differently, but I want to be able to reflect on hundreds of great things and hundreds of good things that happened in my life as well. So that one is definitely more non-basketball wise, because basketball wise, obviously I reflect on games and stuff like that, and for performances, and I do that in general just to help improve my game. But like, I think that one's more important in life, to like, how can I move on from things, and even to the day, I'm definitely, like, by no means perfect at it, because it's always, same way my game is, like, I'm evolving as a person. I'm trying to keep improving as a person. So can I keep trying to have that self-reflection to improve, and then can I keep having the discipline to keep showing up, and keep wanting to get better and become a better athlete, better person, just in general.
So that, and beautiful, by the way, honestly, man. That really resonated with me, to be honest, man. The final two before we wrap up. This one is, you have to fill in the blank.
Okay.
And the question is, or it's more of a statement, sorry. If it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't have learned, filling the blank, about myself.
Ooh, if it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't have learned patience with myself.
So
I say patience because, like, I'm fairly level-headed. Like, I'm not, like, I don't think I make, like, erratic decisions, or I'm not, like, up and down with my emotions and stuff. But at the same time, there's times where, like, kind of like I said before, I have to be patient where it's okay to not be perfect at something. Like, it's okay to not get something first time. And that used to really frustrate me when I would try something new, or when, and I might not show it, but in my head, I'm like, it's really annoying me that I'm not getting something.